Infins, which has a very convoluted way of saying Gristlebrand Storm. His game plan is to play an Entomb or otherwise discard a Gristlebrand and then reanimate it, usually via a Shallow Grave or Goyo's Vengeance.
Yep.
That allows it to attack immediately. So he can draw, attack, draw 7 cards, probably draw 7 more cards. With 14 cards, he has enough action in his deck that he can do various tricks to that end in the Tendrils of Agony. One of his big ways to gain life, amusingly enough, is the Children of Corliss.
Yeah, a Time Spiral common that recoups all the life lost this turn. So basically,
so you draw 14 with Gristlebrand, play Children, draw 4, gain 14.
Gain 14. Now you can draw more cards. So that's something. Another win condition of his is actually how he did it twice on camera in consecutive games. Was get the Gristlebrand into play, draw a bunch of cards, and then do the same thing. Entomb, Dark Ritual, Entomb, Emrakul with the trigger on the stack, Shallow Grave, Emrakul, swing with both of those just for the win, and that's entirely possible.
And Emrakul's a big card. And Chris Andersen, if you've been paying attention to our SCG Live today, is playing Blue-Black Tezzeret, doing very well. Top 8, 2 for 2 on top 8s now.
So he leads things off with an Underground Sea, and Logan has a turn 1 Marsh Flats immediately cracked to find. Well, we'll find out.
Last time Chris made top 8 in Society Games Open in Nashville Legacy.
Same deck?
Same deck for him. Unfortunately for Chris, he lost to a Tendrils of Agony in the top 8. See if he can improve on that performance.
So an Underground Sea for each player. Logan had to work for his.
So
a little shuffling
I'm
here.
not sure what's in either player's hand.
No, we haven't gotten a look.
Do you know that there's a Thirst for Knowledge and a Force of Will in
Chris's I believe hand. A Jace the Mind Sculptor there as well. A Brainstorm from Logan.
Main phase Brainstorm.
Resolving.
So I'm curious to see what how Logan's deck is affected by Chris's primary combo defense, Chalice of the Void.
Yeah. We know
Entomb is a big...
on 1, it hits Entomb, it hits Brainstorm.
He's going to have a very difficult time discarding his own copies of the card. He doesn't have careful studies or things to otherwise get his cards. He's really much finding Entomb or bust.
So you see a...
Cabal Therapy U.
Yeah, Chromox imprinting a Cabal Therapy and then a
Graveborn Cabal Therapy.
Yeah, a Cabal Therapy. So we don't know what he named, but what we see in Chris's hand is Polluted Delta, Talisman of Dominance, Seed of the Synod, Force of Will, Jace the Mind Sculptor, and a Thirst for Knowledge.
Yep. So
he names Chalice, which of course we were just discussing.
Named Chalice as one.
Chalice not there, but I'm sure Logan's fine with that. So yeah, it hits quite a few spells on 1. On 2, it hits Goyo's Vengeance and Shallow Grave. So that's significant. Of course, that's a long way away at 4 mana. And so Chris actually kind of setting things up to potentially
looks like a turn 3 Jace with Force of Will backup as his game plan. Not too bad in this matchup. Basically, all he could really ask for is a turn 1 Chalice over that.
Do you think if he hits a Chalice, do you think he puts Chalice on 1 or on 2? Because if he has if he has 4 mana available, obviously if he has turn 1 Chalice on 1, you do it. But at this particular point, if he's going to have 4 mana and if he had drawn Chalice there or something, do you think you put Chalice on 2?
I think he puts Chalice on 2. That would pretty much stop all of Logan's ways to reanimate a Gristlebrand.
And that's
so he'd have to hardcast it, which is impossible. Logan does have 1 copy of Reanimate.
Okay.
Only to get around that, but so I don't think Logan's drawing dead with any
it just makes it
on anything. It makes it incredibly difficult on almost any amount. Even Chalice on 0 to stop Lotus Petal generally means that Logan will have to untap if he wants to continue going off.
So Chris is going to fetch an Underground Sea with a Polluted Delta, land a Jace the Mind Sculptor, and
It's quite good.
Brainstorm.
Some might even say better than all.
Some might sing it.
Not sure what he's going to do. He's going to brainstorm.
1, 2, 3 turtles off the top. And he finds a
not a very good brainstorm.
Sword of the Meek, a Talisman of Dominance, and a Polluted Delta, I believe.
Two mana artifacts that aren't really what it wants to be. Only really exciting on turn 2. He had one. Drawing 2 is not nearly as exciting.
So a Polluted Delta cracked on Logan's side of the board at the end of Chris's turn. Chris getting many more turns than Logan's previous camera opponent had. So
apparently, earlier in the match, Logan's opponent played Island Preordain.
Yep.
The whole match.
Yep. They played 2 games. Logan on the play in the first game, 1 on turn 1 before his opponent even played a land or a spell, and in the second game on the draw, his opponent, of course, on the play plays Island Preordain, and Logan goes off on his first turn.
Not bad.
And so yeah, that was the entire match for his opponent. This game he doesn't have quite that kind of explosive a start.
Yeah, 5 more turns.
Yeah. He's gonna play a Marsh Flats.
Logan might be quite flooded.
I mean, flooded compared to what he's able to do on 1 mana.
Yeah, he has 14 lands in his deck.
Polluted Delta from Chris Andersen is going to shuffle away at least only one of the cards he put back from that Jace Brainstorm. Finds the 3rd copy of Underground Sea. Now Jace is going to see 3 fresh cards if Chris decides to Brainstorm, which is a good possibility considering the quality of Chris's hand right now. No real threats. The sword can be a threat, but he needs the Thopter half of that combo. So here's the Brainstorm. 1, 2, 3. Put that one back. And he finds 2 more Jaces.
And a Baleful Strix.
Yeah,
so more bricks for this. One thing he can do that I'm sure he will because it's quite good value. Thirst for Knowledge. Discard Sword of the Meek. Then play Baleful Strix. Return Sword of the Meek onto Baleful Strix.
Very cool line of play. I like it.
I really hope it happens.
Well, looks like he might just be doing that right now. So here we have the Thirst for Knowledge. Of course, he's going to see 1 card deeper. So those are the 2 he put back. Of course, Jace, and he finds Island. So now he's going to...
You have to discard an artifact. It's like it's
he goes
not.
with the Mirror Signet. Interesting. Doesn't take that line of play.
Not really into value.
Then again, yeah. I mean, let's see what he does. He's going to play the Strix. So he's thinking about playing the Strix.
I think both players are checking to see if he's played a land. Yes, I believe he has.
Yeah, it was polluted. It was the first thing he did. He played Polluted Delta, cracked it to shuffle.
I'm so disappointed in Chris. He could have had a Sword of the Meek in play. Discarding that.
Draws a card.
Missing out on value.
Passes back to Logan. What did he draw off that Strix?
I believe it was an Academy Runes.
Oh, it was.
So, Logan not really... He went aggressive with a Brainstorm. I think he's missing only 1 piece.
Yeah.
Because he'll need an Entomb reanimation spell. I believe he has that since he would not have imprinted Goryo's Vengeance on Chromox.
No, I think that's the Cabal Therapy. He had imprinted a Cabal Therapy and then played a Cabal Therapy.
Okay.
So that he.
And then he also probably needs another discard spell.
At this point, after Chris has drawn so many cards, he really doesn't.
He still has the Force of Will.
Right, he knows he has the Force, but he also doesn't know, what else Chris has drawn.
That's a Dark Ritual drawn for Logan.
So
at some
very
point,
flooded at this point.
Yeah, at some point, Logan can actually consider hard casting a Gristlebrand. Yeah. Should he draw one?
He's actually got access to 7 mana right now if with a Dark Ritual.
Yeah, bare minimum.
There's a Fate Seal from Chris with the Jace, and it's a Goryo's Vengeance. He says
So,
bottom it.
Yes, yeah. That's why I don't like the Fate Seal all that much.
Drew a
you
Thopter
don't.
Foundry.
There you go.
Although
You don't know what Logan needs if you're in Chris's seat.
Sword of the Meek,
Combo.
Thopter Foundry, attack with Baleful Strix, and Chris has assembled the combo that
Not
will.
a great combo in this matchup.
No, it's not the kind of combo that Logan can assemble.
But if I'm Chris, I'd probably counter that.
Yeah, Entomb from Logan at the end of turn.
It's the least replaceable part of his combo.
Gristlebrand.
So it'll be interesting to see what kind of...
Yeah, we haven't been able to get a good look at Logan's hand.
Yes.
I mean, at that point, we know he has the Entomb. We know he has a Dark Ritual. He knows Chris has a Force of Will.
Mm-hmm.
So with Chris bottoming that card, I wonder if Logan just wanted the shuffle effect.
Mm-hmm.
But normally you see that when Chris says keep it, right?
Yes, yes.
So
he does not have enough.
He doesn't seem to. So it looks like he passed the turn, and
yeah,
Chris,
if I'm Chris, I really want to
make as many guys as he has mana. And of course, right now that's just 2. But right now he's got 4 power worth of guys. It's a 4-turn clock, but we know that he can make many more creatures.
So I'm pretty sure I would brainstorm with Jace, trying to find additional
disruption. Yeah. So
thinking one more piece of disruption will probably lock Logan out of the game.
And Chris finds another reanimation spell on top of Logan's deck and bottoms it. At this point, he really has to bottom it because he knows that Gristlebrand's there. Passes the turn after attacking.
Yeah, that's why.
4, and there we have the 3rd copy of Underground Sea for Logan. End of turn. Chris is going to tap out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 creatures, if I'm counting correctly.
Well, if it's 8 creatures, that's lethal.
Should be, yeah, with Logan at 12. And yeah, Logan's going to scoop him up with, I mean...
Who can handle that many penguins?
Penguins are a pretty rough, pretty brutal creature to handle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm afraid of penguins.
I mean, I'm not afraid of penguins, but I'm afraid of
that many penguins.
Yeah, like double-digit penguins coming to attack me. It's not.
Yeah, it's a rough situation.
Okay, so we have a top 8. They're winning.
Yep.
You at home, you can also win.
Yes.
Where it's trivia time.
It is trivia time. Where's the theme music?
We do not have a theme music.
We forgot to bring it this week. Sorry about that.
So,
trivia. How this works, if you don't know, we're going to ask you guys a question. You guys tweet your answers. Include the hashtag SCG Premium, which is underneath the SCG Live symbol there, down there. You tweet the answer with that hashtag, and you are in the running if you have the correct answer. One random correct answer will win 3 months of SCG Premium. So you don't need to tweet it at SCG Live or anything. Just tweet with that hashtag. You'll be
my roommate won trivia on SCG Live last year.
Yeah. Who's your roommate?
Taylor Gunn.
Congratulations, Taylor Gunn, for winning trivia last year. How much premium?
You won a Gen Con pass.
Oh, nice. Okay, that was something we were giving away last year. This right now, the usual is for premium, and right now 3 months during the quarterfinals. So, for 3 months of SCG Premium, and we were just talking about penguins, and we
even had a reveal a little bit ago.
We've seen this quite a bit on camera today. What is the latest creature type in the Liz Nugent creature collection? So that's an easy one, I think, if you've been paying any attention to anything in the last few days. Star City related, watching us, watching SCG Live, watching the Star City Twitter or Facebook account on Friday, looking at the Star City main page. It's out there.
So find that answer.
Yep, tweet it.
Tweet it to hashtag SCG Premium,
and
we'll pick one of you at random, and you'll win 3 months of premium. And we'll do this again.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals and finals.
Yeah,
give out even more premium.
Yep, 6 months and then 1 year. So let's look at the sideboards.
Yeah. We have a match to play. So Logan, he's down a game. He was unable to find his sideboard is crazy.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't really even had a good look at his sideboard.
Some Pithing Needles, they stop Tormod's Crypt and Relic of Progenitus. Does Chris have any of those? It's really really helpful for Logan to know what Chris has against him.
Right.
There's only Grafdigger's Cage. So to handle 1x Grafdigger's Cage, there's Echoing Truth, 2 Echoing Truths, and 1 Chain of Vapor. Those serve the double duty of also dealing with Chalice of the Void. But the big card for both for Logan in this match is Serenity. If we could get that on screen at some point. Serenity is a 2 mana, and not the Angel of.
Right. This is just Serenity.
Just Serenity. It is a 2 mana enchantment. During your upkeep, destroy all artifacts and enchantments.
Yeah, that's an older one.
Yeah, I believe it's from Urza's Saga block, maybe Urza's Legacy.
That sounds right. We'll find out.
Especially because we were playing Legacy.
Yeah, I mean, Urza's Legacy, all kinds of Legacy references there.
Yeah. My favorite card in Logan's sideboard is Pull from Eternity.
Yeah.
It's basically it can destroy a suspended card, like Ancestral Vision.
Right.
But its main purpose, if somebody extirpates or surgical extractions Logan's Gristlebrands, he can just be like, well, I want to put that back here in my graveyard. But they Pull from Eternity.
There you see Serenity, and of course that's a 6th edition version. I think Weatherlight, now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking
you're actually right. Yeah,
so right around those late 90s cards.
It has the Gerard of the Weatherlight.
Oh yeah, that would be another indication.
Yes.
So yeah, at the beginning of your upkeep, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. They can't be regenerated. So of course that includes Serenity itself. So it's this weird, not Serenity now, but Serenity later kind of thing going on.
Serenity later.
That's an interesting choice. Those Pithing Needles could also do a number on the Thopter Sword combo, in addition to the Planeswalkers. But that's if Logan decides he wants to attack Chris's plan rather than attacking Chris's plan for his plan.
Yes, Logan's deck is so much more proactive. Pithing Needle would be a nice reactive card to Chris's deck, but I don't think that should be what Logan's focused on. In addition, I think Chris should side out his Thopter Sword combo.
Yeah.
It's not that quick of a clock. Tezzeret, Agent of Bulls, plenty to win.
So what is he bringing in then? If he's siding out 2 Thopter Foundries and 2 Swords of the Meek, or Sword of the Meeks.
So 2 Duress absolutely coming in, 2 Vendilion Click absolutely coming in. 3 Lodestone Golems.
Yeah, that's a big one. From World Wake artifact that taxes. What is it? It's non-artifact spells, right?
Also 1 Trinisphere and 1 Grafdigger's Cage. So Chris actually has quite a few cards that he can take out. Probably doesn't have that many cards to bring in. Maybe he can shave some of his. He's going to shave some artifacts for sure.
So Chris is going to duress. And in response, I believe Logan entombed a Gristlebrand. So
that would be correct.
Should be seeing the contents of Logan's hand momentarily, and there it is. You see Silence, and then a bunch of the sides of cards, and an Underground Sea. So takes a Goryo's Vengeance.
Don't even get to see the rest of it.
Spread them out for us. Thank you. There's
another second
Lotus
Entomb.
Petal. Yeah. So Silence, Entomb, Lotus Petal, Underground Sea, there for Logan, and Chris is gonna write it all down, which is the correct play. Now Logan, on his second turn, draws.
Pretty good card. Ponder?
Ponder, yeah. And he's going to cast it. He says, well, I guess I know what you drew this turn.
Oh, wow. Chris still has his Ensnaring Bridges in. Pretty interesting choice. It does stop 7 damage.
The Gristlebrand from attacking. Yes. It also stops Emrakul from attacking.
So, yeah, it will make Logan...
He would have to Tendrils.
Wow. Aggressive play. Just hoping Chris doesn't have a
counterspell or some sort of disruption.
He does not.
Looks like he doesn't. So Shallow Grave puts Gristlebrand into play. Gristlebrand drawing 7 cards for Logan.
The thing is that Logan had a silence
And didn't even
bother waiting for it. So pay 7 more. Logan goes to 6. Yes, the smiley face here comes.
Yeah, I think that means Logan's pretty happy with.
Logan's happy to draw 7.
What's happening right now? Yeah.
Chris Andersen just
There's
happy
another
to be
smiley
here.
face. It's on Logan's face. Yeah. Upwards
Logan
of 20 cards in his hand.
Logan has a ton of cards in his hand. Chris Andersen not gonna do much. Logan, if he wants, the reason the Shallow Graves are in the deck is because they give the Gristlebrand haste. It
So
does.
does Gorgio's Vengeance, I believe.
Yes, that's why those 2 are selected. Yeah, Gristlebrand can attack if it wants, and then draw 7 more cards. May not need to.
There's a Chrome Mox imprinting Limdul's Vault.
Limdul's Vault, the most complicated vampire tutor of all time. But it is a 2-mana vampire tutor, basically.
Chris's hand looked to be multiple Jaces.
Wow, Ponder?
Yeah, he needs more cards apparently. Apparently has not found what he wants, or he's I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, he's really just trying to increase the storm count here. Well, I guess we'll see. But Ponder's happening. What could he possibly be missing?
Yeah, I'm not sure he.
He's taking a look at his hand and trying to decide how he
some
wants
Lotus
to.
Petals or Dark Rituals. Or
He's going to shuffle, get a random card off the top.
Yeah, even failing this, Logan doesn't have a lot of starting mana sources, as I like to call them. Things that start off from 0. He only has 1 Chrome Mox and 4 Lotus Petals. So he doesn't have a ton of ways to generate that first mana. He might be passing the turn.
After an attack, likely.
Yes. The Gataxi and Probe
All right, so it looks like
takes Logan to 4.
we're going to see.
And sees the fairly mediocre hand from Chris, to be honest.
Double Jace, Ensnaring Bridge, Lodestone Golem, City of Traders, Seat of the Synod.
Yeah.
Show us Lodestone Golem if you could.
Yeah, Lodestone Golem actually relatively recent for a combo hate card.
Yeah.
Legacy. It's
a 4 mana 5/3 or 5/4.
Yes, 5/3.
So it's like the old Juggernaut stats.
Yes, it deals quite a bit of damage and it makes going off for Logan quite difficult.
Yeah, non-artifact spells cost 1 more, so it's
attack from Gristlebrand.
Similar to a Thalia in a way.
Yes. Thalia's non-creatures, Lodestone's non-artifacts.
So Gristlebrand going to attack.
Drawing 7 more.
Yeah, so Logan up to 11, Chris down to 13, Logan back down to 4 after
There's a
this
Dark
draw.
Ritual. There's a Lotus Petal. That should... I can't imagine that not being enough.
So he's drawn 21 cards just off of Gristlebrand.
Yep,
He's
Lotus
also
Petal.
pondered.
Maybe Children of Corliss. It's actually funny. There's a very convoluted way to go infinite with Logan's deck.
So Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, Dark Ritual. 5 mana.
We'll see what the storm count is.
He's looks like he's counting it too.
The Chrome Mox is 8 tendrils, and that'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually don't need that many, that much storm after you attack.
For 7. Yeah, so sometimes that's just Chris just did not have much disruption at all. He just had the duress.
Well, he duressed you, and then died.
Yeah, that was it. So the duress not enough.
Well, Logan drew basically the same card.
Yeah.
That Chris made Logan discard, just right off the top, and a turn 2 kill for Logan Creen, and we're on to a game 3.
Yeah, that Tin Fins can be a really scary deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
Probably one of the scariest.
Does need to draw fairly well, like you said. Like it seems like we've watched 4 games featuring Logan Creen on camera. He turn 1 the first 2.
Yeah.
So he obviously drew well enough to turn 1. The third game obviously drew, I guess either poorly or mediocre. Like he seemed kind of flooded.
Yeah.
This game, again, you see a duress happen, and he draws basically the same card. Like that's,
draws a replacement.
Pretty lucky, right? To just
Yeah.
draw the one card that you know, almost the same card that you just lost. So, you know, we know that the deck is set up to have to be as consistent as possible with those sorts of draws, but you do need to have the right cards.
Yeah, you need right mix of cards. It is a combo deck. This form you. Logan's version in particular seems very geared toward needing to resolve an entomb to win.
Yeah, so like we had seen Chris Andersen win against a burn deck on camera earlier, actually twice on camera earlier, but with the turn 1 Chalice on 1.
Yes, turn 1 Chalice on 1 would be outstanding for Chris.
Right. He has 4 Chalices main deck.
Yes, he has 7
also
ways.
Has 7 ways to do that with the
4 Ancient Tombs, 3 City of Traders.
Right.
Alright, so we looks like we're starting to get underway.
Logan's going to go to 6 here. But yeah, the whole starting with the Chalice of the Void on 1 would do a good chunk of the work for Chris to just be able to dig in and prevent Logan from doing things as effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Chris's deck is set up to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how confident Chris is in his hand. If he's remotely confident, I expect a Chalice or something like Duress into Chalice, or like Force of Will plus Chalice, or even just a Chalice on turn 1. Expect quite a bit of disruption.
Dark Slick Shores go, but there is a Chalice. There's also a Vendilion Click, I believe.
So just Chalice, and not an unbelievably strong hand. Logan could win on turn 1.
Looks like he has something he wants to do.
Yeah.
Polluted Delta.
Could also make Chris discard it on turn 1.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I like Chris's keep all that much if he doesn't have a turn 1 play or a Force of Will.
Didn't see Force. Don't think it's there.
Yeah, I don't believe. I did see a Vendilion Click.
Yes, that's what I saw. As Vendilion Click.
Okay, I see a Cabal Therapy in Logan's hand. See if he casts it. You also see a Ponder. There's a Cabal Therapy.
And likely named Chalice.
If he did the same thing he did game 1. Yep, there's Chalice.
Yeah, and
there's the graveyard.
Chris left with just Vendilion Click and Dimir Signet, along with 3 lands.
So, Chris's hand not very good anymore.
No, I'm surprised at that keep. I know, like you know, you have the Chalice, but if you can't play it immediately, it's a little scarier. So he's going to go ahead and turn 2 Dimir Signet, draws in the Snaring
not
Bridge.
only sweat like a turn 1 kill, which Logan's perfectly capable of doing.
Right.
He also has to sweat a discard spell, and you know his therapies, blind, have already named Chalice of the Void.
Right.
So, it's not the worst of keeps. It's basically a 2-card hand with mana, because the Vendilion Click's not terrible.
Right.
And it will put a clock on Logan. That's something Chris doesn't really have. Most of his damage sources are, slow grind him out stuff like Tezzeret. I wouldn't be surprised if Chris sided out some copies of Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas.
So Logan's going to Entomb.
So I mean, this is really scary for Chris. He does not have anything. Logan's main phasing. Bristlebrand. So Logan needs either a Dark Ritual or Lotus Petal or Chromox. And then a way
reanimation
spell. Either Shallow Grave or Glorious Vengeance. Alternatively, Logan can just cast a single Reanimate. He only has 1.
There it is.
But there it is. And Bristlebrand is now in play. But Logan's only at 11. Reanimate, the worst one to go crazy with. But
Trinisphere off the top for Chris, and Snaring Bridge.
Thanks for crossing the bridge. Chris Andersen, Snaring Bridge. As long as Chris can stay under 7 cards, Bristlebrand cannot attack. So that's a big deal, given that Logan's only on 12 life. He's only going to be able to draw 7 once.
Yeah.
With Griselbrand, and this is an absolutely a deck that needs to assemble like a huge amount of cards.
As you saw him draw about 20 some cards last year.
Yes,
21 off of
because
Griselbrand.
a lot of Logan's deck is geared toward putting the Griselbrand into play and not necessarily storming off once it draws 7.
Right. So we have an update from one of the other tables. Edward Stewart with Sneak and Show defeated Andrew Lozano playing Blue White Red Delver. So Edward on to the semifinals. Edward Stewart with Sneak and Show. So.
Yeah, Sneak and Show. Not a deck we've seen a lot of.
So there we see another Cabal Therapy from Logan. Of course, this one not blind, names Vendilion Click.
And that one will take out the Trinisphere.
Yikes.
That could have been a huge for Chris. I think a Trinisphere plus Ensnaring Bridge would actually end the game. I guess Logan would have to kill one of the 2 cards, either with like Serenity or one of his bounce spells.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Logan could win with both of those cards in play.
And just 1 Trinisphere in Chris's board, so that's the one.
Yep, it's gone. Failing in Academy runs, at least.
Yeah, we do know there is Academy Ruins, a one of in Chris's deck. He's cracking a fetch land, using Polluted Delta to find an Underground Sea.
So Chris untaps. He
draws
has
his
a bunch
card,
of very good cards,
another
but
land. And passes back. Logan's hand now.
I'll be interested to see when Logan wants to use his draw 7. At some point, I feel like Logan needs to do it, but I'll need to either win the same turn. He's gonna do it right now. Logan goes 5 life, but gets quite the hand. Drawing 7 is no joke.
Yeah, generally you only do that at the start of a game.
Right.
Or if you just resolve the Sphinx's Revelation for 7. It costs 10
Spiral.
mana. Time Spiral's another one. Yeah.
Griselbrand activation now?
Griselbrand also does that, in fact. Hey, look.
So we'll see shouldn't Logan's on.
So a Brainstorm now. Wants more cards. Can't exactly draw more with Griselbrand at this point.
Okay, so apparently Logan's down to 3.
Yeah, we actually had
the wrong ones for a little bit. That actually kind of does cut off a few things. Like it would cut off like the Polluted Delta plus Gitaxian Probe.
Right. Also, any thought? Does he have Thoughtseizes? He does have two.
And in fact, that's the first card in Logan's hand.
Yeah,
the
that's what that was.
So that's a tough one.
Chris, Chris is making it tough for Logan to win, but Chris doesn't have anything to win with himself at this point.
Right.
So
wow, pass.
Yeah.
So that takes off the Children of Corliss, the potential out. So
there's
Lodestone
a threat.
Golem.
Yeah, we mentioned.
So yeah, Logan's just gonna need a way to remove one of these, I believe.
So obviously, Lodestone Golem attacking into Griselbrand, not a good idea. Not only do you lose the Golem, but you give Logan 7 life with which to draw more cards.
It's a bad idea. The rules prevent, the Ensnaring Bridge prevents Chris from attacking.
But if Chris were to draw a bunch of cards, Lodestone Golem into Griselbrand is a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say, there's a number of reasons that Lodestone Golem will not be attacking into Griselbrand here.
Yes.
While it appears to be a threat, it is actually more effective for its non-power toughness.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see what's in Logan's hand. He has 8 cards now because he had discarded to 7 and then drew first turn.
He went to 2 and cracking a fetch land, and then just plays a second fetch land, or not a second, but another fetch land.
Yeah, this is quite the game. Usually you don't see Griselbrand in play for many turns. And
yeah, he's going to start to turn to dust, I think. He's just usually not. He doesn't.
Niles Spellbomb.
Huh.
Drawn for Chris. Not super.
Not super effective right now because of it's already a little late. The fact that Griselbrand's on the table.
Yes.
But yeah, Chris again with Ensnaring Bridge in play. Says go. Logan's going to have have to find an answer. Plays another fetch land now, obviously.
Yeah, I wonder if Chris just wants a card. In the meantime, another match. Jamie Sheffer. He's playing Death and Taxes. He defeated Grant Wilkinson, playing Ad Nauseam, as I shed a solitary tear for the death of Ad Nauseam in this tournament. Chalice of the Void on 2. That's a huge draw.
Wow, Chris has now really mounted quite a defense. Yeah, it's looking good. There you see Chalice of the Void. I love Mark Zug as an artist, also known for Vidalkin Shackles, the original art. Doran, there you see his art on Chalice of the Void, recently reprinted in Modern Masters, but it is countering any spell that costs 2. The spells can be cast, but they are immediately countered by Chalice of the Void.
This is crazy. So Logan doesn't have access to 2-drops, which means his 2 Echoing Truth and his 2 Serenity no longer outs.
Yeah, and of course his Goryo's Vengeance, also not castable. Not that he has a target at the moment, but you see him discarding Goryo's Vengeance there. So
once again, Chris draws an incredible card, Jace the Mind Sculptor. We've been told that it's better than all.
We've said that a couple times ourselves, even. You also see Academy Ruins was drawn by Chris in a recent draw step, and you know, that's a way for him to get back that Trinisphere that we talked about. Not that he needs it so badly at this point, but you know, that's one of the cards he can get back. He can also get back Nile Spellbomb, and he could also get back Chalice for 1.
Well,
get back a Chalice.
Think about Chalice for 1.
He can't cast it at cost
because
2.
because Chalice for the 1 costs 2.
Yeah, good call.
I think so. Logan has 2 potential outs. First and most direct is Chain of Vapor.
Top card, Dark Ritual. Chris says keep it. Passes a turn, Logan draws it.
Yeah, the second and more obscure is to naturally draw up to a hand that can storm through a Lodestone Golem.
Another point, Chain of Vapor will allow Chris to sacrifice something to bounce the the Gristlebrand. As well, you know.
Yes. Not the biggest of Chris's concern is the Gristlebrand in play because it can't attack.
Right.
Logan doesn't have enough life to pay.
Goryo's Vengeance discarded from Logan.
If I'm Chris, I would actually consider putting the Nile Spellbomb into play. It would make a duress lethal. Because or pretty close to lethal. Interesting.
So he puts Chalice on top.
Yeah.
Sees another Dark Ritual.
You can probably have that.
Likely keep it. I like how he thinks about it though.
Yeah.
You know, don't be too hasty. No reason. This is intense. Wow.
Chalice for 4. That only stops. That does not stop much in Logan's deck. That stops the Tendrils of Agony, the first copy.
Shallow Grave, discarded. Logan just discarding all his reanimation spells. And Jace going to work better than all.
That is the Tendrils. That needs to go on bottom. That's one of the ways.
Yes, he bottoms it.
I'd only bottom Brainstorms, Ponders, and the Chain of Vapor and the Tendrils of Agony.
So Logan draws a mystery card. Not so quick to discard and pass at this point, so
it doesn't have a completely dead card.
He pays 2 mana for a Gataxian Probe. Gets to draw a card here. Plays a land, and looks like that's what he's got. And of course, now Chris is going to put the Trinisphere on top of his library with the Academy Ruins. He's going to Fate Seal. Jace finds Chrome Mox, says keep it, and now he's going to cast Trinisphere.
I want Trinisphere.
Put Trinisphere up. This is another card. Ends up with a lot of complicated rules questions quite often.
In fact, one of the interactions that's complicated is Lodestone Golem plus Trinisphere. Basically, it's a 3-drink minimum. You have to pay
whatever it is. It costs whatever. If it costs less than 3, it costs 3.
And Trinisphere is applied last. So yeah, it looks like Jason Mind Sculptor
Jace just
Ultimate.
ultimated, yeah. So Logan left with just his hand as his library.
Well, and if his hand wasn't any good,
then his library's no good.
Yep.
And Logan, you know, just trying to hang on here by his fingernails. If he didn't have anything in his hand that was good enough, he's not going to draw anything that's good enough.
Yeah. So he's not going to see it, but Chris has won this game.
I can't see any other way that that Logan pulls this out. Chris is gonna brainstorm here.
There's a Tezzeret.
That won't be able to be cast because Chalice is on 4.
Oh, that's not exciting for Chris.
No.
But yeah.
Dark Slick Shores bins the City of Traders. Logan draws one of the cards that was in his hand earlier. Logan's just gonna just gonna milk it. Let's see. You know, maybe Chris will make some sort of mistake. That's, you know, Logan's only hope, I think, at this point. Unless we're missing something. Here's a Nile Spellbomb. Jace going to brainstorm again, finds Jace Tezzeret. And what's that? Urborg. Yeah, it was an Urborg. And
Well, this way of trolling us a little bit.
yeah, I think Chris should just be like passing.
Yes. Pass? Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Was that Fate Seal himself?
Yes, and leave it on top.
Yeah. Fate Seal myself, leave it.
Yeah, Logan just refusing to concede, so we have an nice, and they worked over mirror.
Rug Delver won.
Weird. The player Alex Marth wins 2-1.
Yeah, this is the last match happening, and it doesn't look good.
So Chris builds up to 5 cards in hand.
Yeah, bounces the Gristlebrand, and then attacks with Lodestone Golem. So
yes.
Chris Andersen defeats Logan Creen with just a bevy of disruption, table disruption. You know, like not hand disruption, on board disruption.